You ever been like in a small hotel room and there's like, you have the photographer, you have 3 hair and makeup, and you have a bridal party of like 12?
To have a beautiful day, you have to also feel and look your best. So we're here today with Cher, talking about hair and makeup.
So I'm Cher, and I do hair and makeup for special events and for film and media. And I've been doing it for 13 years. I moved here last year from Texas. And then before Texas, I lived in Hawaii. So I've just recently tapped into the Brevard County, Central Florida market, and it's been great. It's actually been really welcoming, and I've worked with some great vendors already.
So battling the humidity of Hawaii, I've only been one time. It's crazy there. How do you combat that?
Lots of hairspray,
Yeah.
lots of hair prep.
We love hairspray.
And we worked all the time. You could work every day if you wanted to in Hawaii.
Really?
That's how many, because everyone was eloping. So I found doing more than just being a hair and makeup artist when I was doing weddings in Hawaii. I would be helping brides get in their dresses. I was taking pre-pictures. I was videoing things for them just because a lot of them were eloping and they didn't have anybody with them. So,
Wow.
but I worked as much as I wanted and as little as I wanted. It was a fantastic place to live.
What brought you here to Brevard?
My husband, he ended up getting a job with NASA, so we ended up moving here from South Texas.
You reached out to us, I think, on the commercial side of our business.
Yes.
So we do productions for businesses and all sorts of stuff like that. So tell us a little bit more. What have you done on the commercial side?
Oh, so many things. I love commercial and film work and set work. I could be hours. I was telling somebody earlier today here, I could spend hours on a set. I love it. I love having my set bag and touching up people. Some movies, some commercial work. My background's in film and media, and I've worked for 2 news stations that contracted with major news networks. So a lot of times it was the middle of the night or weird hours is whenever we could patch in somebody to a live network. And it was the best. I lucked into it. It was the best job experience. But it gave me a lot of experience with brides because you have to be really quick on your feet and have everything ready and be very organized. So carrying that into the bridal industry has been very useful and continues to be very useful to be quick and ready to go. And you could just got to be able to look at somebody and you don't have time to play around and mix shades, and you have to have everything ready to go.
Solving those problems quickly and kind of identifying that and just getting it done.
I think so. And I would think that you might, if I was looking for a hair and makeup artist, I want somebody who has experience, who is good with color theory, and has done it and is quick and can be very flexible and adaptive, especially on a day, because you never know what's going to happen on a wedding day.
The problems we learn to solve on the commercial side,
Right.
we take with us to weddings.
Right.
And obviously, it's also different types of gear sometimes.
Right.
We all take all that with us in order to, get things done on the day of.
Right.
Everything is regimented and things have to be on a timely manner, and you don't have all day to solve a problem.
No.
You got to solve it right. You got to solve it quickly. So.
You know what's interesting? I don't know about, I'm very organized. So even before a wedding, I have a timeline I print out. I've worked with other artists that will be like, oh, we're just gonna figure out when we get there. I'm like, no, I have it down to the minute, and I know exactly how long it takes me to do a bride's hair and a bride's makeup. And I have them send me headshots ahead of time. I can get it down to a science, and very rarely am I ever off.
Yeah.
So my biggest fear is to be late for something or to hold somebody up, and so I don't. Holding up videographers or photographers the day of, everything's on a timeline, and there's no waste of time on a wedding day.
Absolutely.
And it comes down to hiring a makeup and hair person that knows exactly what they're doing to make everything very efficient is so important. Everything just has to go very smooth that day, and being very calming source for brides.
Yeah, and the whole team, all the vendors, all the professionals coming together
Right.
To work as a unit. You're one of the first people there that gets to see the bride,
Right.
gets to see the couple, and we're there sometimes the longest,
Right.
8, 9, 10 hours. So we get a little bit of time with, hair and makeup.
Right.
Generally, we tell them, look, you don't want photo and video of you before you have your hair and makeup
I'm
done.
so glad you said that, because
So-
so many times I'll have video and photographers, I feel like they're really anxious, and they're taking photos of me putting color correcting someone's face. I'm like, you're not going to use these pictures.
Right.
But I don't say that. But one thing I like to do for video people and photographers is I'll tell them when the money shots are going to happen. So I'll always give a heads up. I'm going to be done in 10 minutes, and I'll John, whoever the photographer, say, hey, I'm about to apply some lipstick. You might want to come for this part of it. And I think that's a good makeup artist too, that is aware of who the other vendors are and their time. And so they can go and do their other shots. And I'll be like, hey, listen, don't worry. I'll wait to put the veil in until you get back here.
Yeah. So. And this starts all the way with our consult. I say, let's get hair and makeup. Let's get that timeline down, and hopefully they're on time.
Yes.
And even if they're not, it's not a huge deal. And when it's done, then we'll come in and we'll get a few touch-up shots.
Right. We'll fake it.
Done.
Yeah.
Right. We don't need to stress or get in the way of all that. And that way you have your time with that person, and it's perfect, and it's easy for everyone. And then we'll get the shots we need.
Have you ever been like in a small hotel room? And there's like, you have the photographer, you have 3 hair and makeup, and you have a bridal party of like 12, and you're like all in some hotel.
Right.
I have had my makeup kit like completely out on a bed before, and I'm like been sitting on a bed with it's such messy.
That's like every Saturday.
Yeah. But it's nice when you go to a place and they have like a good like bridal space, and you can organize it and have everything look better aesthetically. I think hair and makeup is actually one of the cheapest parts of a bride's day. And that is always my sales pitch to anybody. Nobody's paying attention to anything else but the bride's face and what the bride's dress looks like when she walks in. That's all the groom's looking for, right? They're so focused on her, and so is everyone that's at the wedding, they're all looking at you. So the fact that brides skimp out often, I think hair and makeup is something that a lot of brides cut. It's one of the first things. They're like, oh, I can do it myself. I can tell you, I can look at hair and makeup and I can tell if it's been professionally done or hasn't been done when I look at photographers' work. There are some people who can pull it off, but there are a lot of people who can't. It would be the number one thing I would never, ever cut off on a day if I was on my big day. So.
It does make our job easier. There's a lot of things that make our job much easier.
Yes.
When it comes to video, it's the DJ and the audio engineer.
Right.
Like, we have to work with them very closely.
Yes.
And if they aren't good at their job, or the couple decided to skimp out on that, it's going to make our job much harder. And the same thing with hair and makeup. If I don't have to get in there and touch up some crazy amateur job, then it's going to make my job much easier. So we love to partner and make sure great hair and makeup people are on the job helping the bride and groom. How can brides find you? How can anybody find you to get help with their hair and makeup?
Great question. So it's www.CherWear, so CherWear, like CherWear.com. And then they can link up from there with my Instagram, my social media. I'm on Wedding Wire. I've been top rated on Wedding Wire. I would read reviews, so my reviews are all on there. But my website has my Instagram and all the social media, and then they can also look at my online portfolio on Instagram and my website.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.